Welcome to Learning Bites, your bites of information you get to apply immediately. We're looking at training effectiveness, and I wanted to finish off the series picking up on Donald Kilpatrick's 4 steps of learning effectiveness. It's quite theoretical, but actually it's very applicable, and it's something that I like to use to help people measure the success they get from their training. One of the very first things that you need to do when somebody's been trained is to get instant feedback. How did they find that training? What was their immediate response to it? Did they enjoy it? Did they feel engaged? Did they feel like they learned something new? Did they feel it was applicable? Many of you have trained with us beforehand know that we always ask for feedback straight after training. That ticks that little box of that instant feedback. How did people feel at the end of that training session? Once they've done that, the next step is called learning. So we have the reaction to the training and then the learning. Now they get to apply this learning. So this is where the cascade training comes in. They get to share, this is what I learned. This is what it meant to me. These are the actions I feel myself and or the team need to apply. And those actions then move on to that next step called behavior. So we react to the training, we show what we've learned, and now we get a change in behavior. As many of you know, the reason we chose the name Think Right is because it is our thinking that determines our behavior, that determines our results. And if you want different results, we need different behavior, which means we need different mindsets around what we do. So we get the reaction, we show what we've learned, we get a change in behavior, which then leads to the 4th stage of learning effectiveness, which means we then get those different results. As we mentioned on the very first part of this series, a key element when you are going to invest in people is to be very clear on where are we at the moment. Before the training, how do we measure this person? What do we consider to be their levels of knowledge, their levels of skill, their levels of personal interaction, their abilities, their soft skills? That's what we need to be looking at. And then we need to say at the end of the training, and not just immediately afterwards, that's the reaction period, but in a given set period of time. Is it a week? Is it a month? Is it 2 months? 6 months? What are we aiming for? What does success look like if we have those change in behaviors? When companies are prepared to put that investment up front and be clear on what it is that they want to achieve, it gives people clarity, and clarity equals action. Clarity gives people something to aim for. Really encourage you to have a look at those 4 stages, measuring the reaction people have to the training, getting them to share what they've learned, so that they have to articulate it, watching for the change in behaviors that they've said need to happen as a result of the training that's been invested in them, and then measuring, sharing, and feeding back the results that you see and that you expect to see and that you're tracking because you've invested in people. Training helps people to grow. It makes a significant difference to who they are, how they see themselves, their self-esteem. It makes a significant difference to the team that they contribute towards. And as you grow your people, you can grow your organization. Do it effectively by putting in place all of the things we've covered off this month around optimizing your training effectiveness. And here's to your success. If any of this resonated with you and you'd like some help with it, do feel free to get in touch. Drop me an email at mike@thinkright.co.nz or 0272 987 523 or our website www.thinkright.co.nz.